Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got a couple quick program notes at the end of the video. Not a commercial. Program notes. Stick around for those. But got a great story here from the New York Post that Michael sent me. And I love the Post. They've got the greatest headlines. But this one here is not such a crazy headline, but the story is good. New York City attorney sues ex over $37,000 worth of pricey gifts given before the relationship ended. And that's according to a lawsuit that they get these facts from. Kathy M. Boniello wrote this to the Post. An attorney who plied his girlfriend with pricey gifts is suing her now over those luxurious presents now that their romance has soured. The attorney is 60 years old, and he popped a question to a woman who's 54 back in December of 2021. Now, the couple's romance did not have a fairy tale ending, as you may have guessed, because there's now litigation. He claims he lavished her with $37,000 worth of presents, including an 18-karat Maria Gasperi diamond and white gold watch, an 18-karat yellow gold necklace with 30 diamonds, 2 bags and a belt from Louis Vuitton, a Balmain leather skirt, which can cost anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000, along with $5,000 cash and a $1,000 airline travel credit. It sounds like that's what you'd win if you won a really good game show, because it's got that thing at the end with $5,000 cash and a $1,000 airline travel credit. What do we got for the winners, Johnny? The gifts were given, according to the lawsuit, solely in contemplation of the marriage. So in other words, if they weren't getting married, he says he wouldn't have given her that stuff. And he thought they were getting married. Now, she's a nutritionist, but she never said yes, according to her lawyer. She accepted the gifts, but she never said yes to the proposal. And that's the issue here. So the attorney for the woman says the gifts were not given in contemplation of marriage. They were dating. Most of the items, according to her, were birthday or holiday gifts. So you know that you got a birthday, right? And you got your basic holidays. So if you give somebody a gift at Christmas, now theoretically, you can get engaged on Christmas Eve. It's one of the most popular engagement dates. Christmas Eve is one of the most popular engagement dates. I suspect Valentine's Day is up there as well. And so if you give somebody a gift on one of those days, generally speaking, like a birthday, you'd assume it's a birthday gift, okay? But now the attorney claims that the woman ignored his repeated request to return the items, but her attorney said the woman did reply, pointing out the gifts weren't given as part of a marriage proposal, but she offered to return one of the bags, which had apparently belonged to the attorney's mother. So that's got sentimental value. The only thing under New York law that he's entitled to have returned is the engagement ring, she said. Under New York law, a gift is a gift. This is frivolous. He's opening himself up to sanctions as an attorney. And as an attorney, he should know better. The lawsuit seeks $37,000 in damages, does not mention an engagement ring, which implies either that she has given that back or that he decided not to ask for it back, which seems strange. But apparently, she tried on a ring. She said, "I'll consider it," and gave it right back to him. Now that's, again, the attorney speaking. And she says that the ring was never actually delivered to her, which is why it's not being asked back. But we'll see. Meanwhile, the attorney for the man says there are many other expensive luxury gifts that were given to the woman during the relationship prior to the engagement for which return is not sought. So he's saying, look, this guy showered her with gifts this entire time. Somewhere along the line, he said, "Will you marry me?" And he says, she said yes. And at that point, he started showering her with more gifts in anticipation of the marriage. But now that she's not willing to marry him, he wants those ones back, not the earlier ones. So the lawyer says the only gifts we seek to recover were given in contemplation of marriage post-engagement. In fact, 2 were purchased in celebration at the time of the engagement ring sizing, his attorney says. So now the question is, was there an engagement ring sizing done? So this is an ugly situation, but it raises several points. And so the one attorney says he's opening himself up to sanctions as an attorney, and as an attorney, he should know better. But there are conditional gifts that can be given. You learn this in law school. In law school, you take a class on property. And most people, when they hear the phrase property, they're thinking of real estate, like I own a piece of property. But property actually refers to a lot of different things, and movable objects like widgets are also property. And so if I give you a gift that I can hand to you and you can put it on your body and wear it or put it in a jewelry box or whatever it is, that's a kind of property. And so if I give you something, that's a gift. And the law has recognized for hundreds, if not thousands of years, the concept of gifting something to somebody. So I have something and I gift it to you. I give it to you. Where there's you give me nothing in exchange. It's just the goodwill of it. I like you. Here, have this widget. Okay? And true gifts, title does transfer. So a simple true gift, I give you something. You want me to have this? Yes. Really? Yes. Do I have to pay you for it? No. You don't want it back? No. It's yours. Do with it as you will. Now, I've known people who've given something to somebody, and the person did something stupid with it. And they go, I can't believe this. I gave this guy this thing, he's wrecked it. Well, you did give it to him or her. So there you go. Okay? And so once in a while, I've seen people say, hey, look, I'm going to give this to people. Please don't wreck it. But there are conditional gifts. And so you can give a gift to somebody, in theory, where if you say, I'm giving this to you because we're going to get married. Theoretically, that's possible. But it's difficult to prove. And so a conditional gift is a very, very difficult thing. But the most common conditional gift you'll hear about is an engagement ring. And this varies wildly from state to state, jurisdiction to jurisdiction. I won't even speak to Canada, have no idea about Mexico. Last time I mentioned something about all 50 states, I had somebody in Canada go, Steve, you keep leaving out Canada. I don't know Canadian law, okay? I don't know. But a conditional gift is one in which I give you something and I say, this is yours so long as this condition is met. I'm going to give you this money so long as you spend it on college. This is your college education money. Something like that, theoretically, right? So a conditional gift. But I give you this ring if you will marry me. Some states say that if the wedding doesn't take place, the ring gets returned to whoever paid for it. Some states say the ring gets returned if the woman backs out, assuming the woman got the ring from the man. But it depends. And some states, it's not so clear. But many states have been handling this and have had cases on this for quite some time. So in some states, like this apparently, if the woman gets the ring from the man, and I'm just giving traditional examples here, not trying to offend anybody. If the man buys the woman a ring and she backs out, she gives the ring back. In some states, if the man gives the woman the ring and he backs out, she gets to keep it. I was still willing to marry you. Which makes you wonder how wise that decision was when he backed out. But I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm just here discussing these concepts of property. And so the question then becomes all these other gifts that were given. So the attorney says that he's opening himself up to sanctions by filing this lawsuit. And that simply boils down to, is it potentially a legitimate claim in New York to say, in anticipation of our marriage, I bought her an engagement ring and some other gifts along the way, which were all clearly in anticipation of that marriage. If she marries me, she gets to keep the stuff. If she doesn't marry me, it all comes back. And the question is that a valid cause of action in New York? I don't know. And so we'll see what happens. This theoretically could go to trial. It might settle. And the question becomes, how much litigation do you want to put into $37,000 worth of stuff? That's worth some money, but you don't want to necessarily have a 16-week jury trial on this, although it wouldn't take that long. I'm just joking. But $37,000 is certainly an amount of money you could wind up in attorney fees if you kept spinning your wheels on something like this. So it's a crazy story. Michael, thanks for sending it. New York City attorney sues ex over $37,000 worth of pricey gifts given before the relationship ended, and it did not end in marriage. New York Post published it. Kathy Ann Boniello wrote that for the New York Post. A couple quick notes. One is, as you can tell from my voice, I'm back, baby. I'm healthy. My cold is gone. So sometime Sunday-ish, I started feeling a lot better. And my voice is back, and I'm completely fine. So that's just how my body handles these things. Number two, I don't mean to be this way, but there's a big announcement I'll be making a couple days down the road from now. It's a pretty big deal. Not about my show per se, but about something I helped somebody with. And it's pretty cool. And I'll give you a teaser. You're going to get to meet, figuratively speaking, one of my relatives. And then the puzzle pieces will start fitting together. And you're going to understand some of the things that have happened in the past, including, for example, that situation where I got to meet Jay Leno again with my father and my brother. So all of that will become very, very clear a few days down the road. Stay tuned for that. I'll give you some more details. And when I can make the announcement, I'm waiting for somebody to give me the authority to pull the trigger. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. I sued the airline for losing my luggage. I lost my case.